Hello everybody. In last class we have studied MOSFET AC analysis and we have done the derivation of common source JFET and MOSFET amplifiers. Based on that I had given you two assignments. One was to derive all the relations for common drain amplifier and second was a question of calculating the mid band voltage gain. Now I will first solve these two questions, then I will go further. Today in today's lecture we will discuss feedback amplifiers. So this is the circuit of common drain amplifier. Here we are taking output from source and drain is common. So first of all we will draw its AC circuit. So how do we draw its AC circuit? This is a gate. This RG is between gate and ground. So this RG is placed between gate and ground. This is one dependent source GM-VGS. Source is connected with RS and drain is connected with RD and it is connected with ground. The output is taken here plus minus across the source resistance. Now in this we have to again calculate input impedance, output impedance as well as gain. Input impedance is already clear. Input impedance is Zi is equals to Rg. Because Rg is parallel with VGS, so input impedance will be Rg, similar to the common source configuration. Now for calculation of output impedance as well as gain, I am remodifying the circuit. See, this is S, this source, this resistance, if we talk about this resistance, this is in between V0 and ground. Similarly, this RD is between V0 and ground. So I can say these two resistance are in parallel between V0 and ground. So I am remodifying circuit RS and putting it in between parallel to RD. So here what I have drawn RS, which is in between V0. Since in this case source I have drawn this is gate, drain is downward and source is upward direction. In previous figure, if we talk about previous figure, drain and source, so direction was for GM-VGS was from downwards, drain to source, therefore in this direction will change in upward. And similarly ID was opposite of GM-VGS, GM-VGS, so in this case ID is drawn like inward current. So this has changed. Now to calculate output impedance, we have to find out V0 divided by this current, so that net impedance will be Z0. So I can say what will be Z0? Z0 will be, I can say the output impedance will be ZO will be Z0 ZO dash parallel RS. What is ZO dash? Is the impedance of this. So I have to calculate ZO dash. ZO dash is the internal output impedance of the circuit. Parallel with RS, it will provide me the total output impedance of the circuit. How will I calculate ZO? V0 upon ID as per two-port network theory. Output voltage upon output current when input voltage is 0. So Z0 dash can be calculated output voltage upon output current when input voltage is 0. So applying KVL in this figure, either in this figure we can apply KVL. It's going VI equals to VGS plus V0 VGS, or we can also in this figure input voltage is VI plus equals to VGS plus V0. So VI equals to VGS plus V0. Since we have assumed that VI is equals to 0 for two-port calculation analysis, so if we put VI equal to 0, we can get VGS equals to minus V0. Now applying KCL at S node. S node means at this node. at this node. We can say at this node there are only two currents, GM VGS and ID, which are in opposite direction. So GM VGS plus ID equals to 0. Therefore, if I replace from this equation since we know VGS equals to minus V naught, I will replace VGS value with minus V naught. So GM VGS plus ID, VGS plus or minus V naught, so minus GM V naught plus ID. So GM V naught equals to ID, and V naught by ID is 1 by GM. If Z naught at dash is 1 by GM, what will be ZO? 1 by GM parallel RS. So this is the output impedance of common drain amplifier. Now if we calculate voltage gain, again applying KCL at node S. Now applying full KCL across this node. So what I can do, V0 by RS plus V0 by RD plus ID, or I can replace ID with GM VGS. So I am writing V0 by RS plus V0 by RD minus GM VGS equals to 0. So I am writing it here. V0 by RS plus V0 by RD minus GM VGS equals to 0. So taking V0 common, minus 1 by RS minus 1 by RD is equal to minus GVM. Then again, since we know Vi is equal to VGS plus V0, so VGS will be Vi minus V0. Putting the value of VGS in this equation, so V0 into 1 by RS plus 1 by RD equals to GM times Vi minus V0. Then again, since 1 by RS plus 1 by RD, it is nothing but RS parallel RD. I am taking GM V0 this side, so it is RS plus RD plus GM. If it is not given, then it is assumed RD to be infinite. Just like in BJT, it is also assumed RD to be very, not infinite, but is very much high compared to RS. So if it is assumed RD is much greater than RS, so we will get V0 times, if these two are in parallel, so if RD is greater than much greater than RS, this will whole be replaced by RS. So it will be, it will be 1 by RS plus GMRS. 1 by RS plus GMRS equal to, okay, sorry, must have done this. It is already right. 1 plus GMRS equal to GMRS times Vi. I have put it, I replaced it with this with RS. 1 by RS plus GMRS times GMRS Vi, and V0 by Vi is GMRS and 1 plus GMRS. So now based on that, I had given you one question. We have to find out this voltage gain. It was simple, as we have derived in last class. It is common source amplification. So V0 by Vi is minus GM RD parallel RD. Here RD is 10K. RD is not given. We will assume is very high value. So we are ideally, I don't know, ideally not theoretically, we are assuming it is infinity. So it is GM RD multiply with 1 millisecond, that is already given in the question. We will get minus 10. Now after that, we will shift towards the feedback amplifier. What are the feedback amplifiers? The basic characteristics, as we have written, the basic characteristics of an amplifier: input impedance, output impedance, voltage gain, and bandwidth. Suppose if we want to change the characteristic of basic amplifier, then we have to use a technique called as feedback. There can be two types of feedback, either positive feedback or negative feedback. I'll discuss briefly about negative feedback in this video. For positive feedback, we will discuss in separate lecture. This is the main block diagram of every control system. We also studied this type of block diagram in control system. Here source is voltage source. This is amplifier. It amplifies as, here it is written, V0 is nothing but gain times input voltage Vi. What is Vi? Vi is nothing but Vs minus beta V0. So V0 is AVS minus A beta V0. So So V naught equal to AVS upon 1 plus A beta. So with this, if the initial gain of the amplifier was A, now after feedback the gain of the amplifier is reduced as by 1 plus A beta. In general, whenever we apply any negative feedback, there are some quantities which changes. For example, input impedance, output impedance, bandwidth, gain. The common thing in all these parameters are the amount of change is fixed by 1 upon 1 plus A beta. If gain is reducing by 1 upon 1 plus A beta, then as we know, gain bandwidth product is constant. If gain is reducing, then bandwidth must increase, and it will increase by the same factor as 1 upon, or it will increase by the factor of 1 plus A beta. Similarly, if we talk about input impedance and output impedance, it will be either increased by 1 plus A beta or decreased by 1 upon 1 plus A beta. This will be common throughout the negative feedback. I will now further discuss the configuration or the internal circuit of different types of amplifier. Basically, there can be 4 types of amplifier. How do we define any amplifier? Is the ratio of the quantity of output and input. If it is more than 1, it is an amplifier. There can be possibly 2 input quantities and 2 output quantities. 2 input quantities voltage and output quantities voltage and current. If both are voltage, input is voltage, output is voltage, then it is known as voltage amplifier. If both are current, that is input is current and output is current, then it is known as current amplifier. If input is voltage and output is current, then it is known as transconductance amplifier. And if input is current and output is voltage, then it is known as transimpedance amplifier. So first I will discuss the equivalent circuit of a voltage amplifier. As we know, in voltage amplifier the output and input both will be in the form of voltage. So input voltage has some input resistance, that is plot of V naught, and RS will be in series because the voltage has voltage source has input resistance in series configuration. This is an amplifier circuit. This is box. This is RI, input impedance of the voltage amplifier. The voltage is AV is gain. Gain multiplied with VI, that will be the output in series with the output impedance, and after that this is load circuit. For ideal amplification, input impedance should be much than RS to capture full input voltage onto the input circuit. And similarly, for voltage to be applied to the load, the output impedance of the amplifier should be much lower than the load resistance. Now, if we come on current, this is the circuit of current amplifier. The current source has input resistance in parallel, so this is RS and this is RI. Similarly, this is a current gain AI multiplied with input current. R0 is the output resistance and RL is the load. For current to qualify into the RI should be much less. In current, there is a voltage divider, current divider in parallel. So the higher the resistance, the lower the current will go. So this should be much lower than this resistance. So the maximum current will follow into the resistance. Whatever amount of current will follow, it will be amplified by this gain. And similarly, this resistance much higher for current amplifier, just because all the current should go in the load. So for voltage amplifier, input impedance must be higher, output impedance must be lower. For current amplifier, the input impedance must be lower and the output impedance must be higher. This is transconductance. Transconductance means output is current, input is voltage. The similar thing is, this is in series and here it will be in parallel for this case for current, and it will be, for this to acquire maximum input, RI should be high compared to RS, and to achieve maximum current here, to achieve maximum current here, R0 has to be high. And just opposite for trans resistance, where output is voltage and input is current, this resistance is in parallel with the input source, so this has to be low and this has also to be low. So these are the 4 different configuration of amplifier. For any amplification circuit, it is defined as per these block diagram. This is source, this is a mixer, amplifier, sampler and feedback. What type of amplifier is being used is defined on the basis of sampling network and on the basis of mixer network. Let us see, if suppose I have a voltage amplifier, so I have to take sampling of voltage and I had to mix with voltage. So my feedback network will be, I have to take sampling of voltage here and I have to mix with the voltage. Generally, if we are talking about sampling, how do we take sampling in a voltage circuit? In voltage circuit, whenever we take sampling in voltages circuit, in parallel, if you talk about in shunting or in parallel cases, the voltage remains same. So we want to take sample without changing the voltage, so that's why we have a requirement of it has to be done in parallel. It means whenever we are taking a sampling of voltage, it has to be done in parallel, not in the series, just to make the load independent of the sampling, just not to affect the load. So what we have to do, whenever we are taking sampling of voltage, we will take in parallel. On whenever we are mixing the voltage mixing means we have to, in feedback network, we have to subtract the quantity from the input, and if we have to subtract, then voltage has to be in series, not in parallel. So therefore, for voltage amplification, sampling is always done in parallel, whereas mixing is always done in series. So for this feedback network, in voltage case, sampling is done in voltage and mixing is done in series. If we talk about the current amplifier, what do we want for current? So if suppose the output is in the form of current, if output is in the form of current, then in series current remains same. So we want our sampling to be in series, just to make sure that it doesn't change the load. This doesn't change the effect on the load. So for current amplifier, we take sampling in series because in series current remains constant, and we mix in parallel or in shunt because the currents are additive only in parallel or in shunt process. Now if we talk about trans conductance and trans impedance amplifier, whenever there is a voltage sampling, if I talk about in general, whenever there is a voltage sampling, it has to be done in shunt, and whenever there is a mixing there has of voltage, it has to be done in series. On the contrary, for current sampling is always to be done in series and mixing is to be done in parallel. So we have just now we have established if we are doing sampling in shunt and mixing in series, it has voltage amplifier. That is, sampling is voltage, mixing of series means current. Series means volt. Sorry. Now if it is trans impedance amplifier, trans impedance means output is voltage. So output voltage, so we have to done sampling in shunt, and mixing is current. So current mixing is also in shunt. This is known as voltage shunt amplifier. This is the basic nomenclature. Now if we have trans conductance amplifier, then output is what is the output? Trans conductance means output is current. So current has to be taken sampling as series, and mixing is a voltage, and that is also be taken in series. So this is known as current series amplifier. And in the last, current amplifier, the output is current, so its sampling has to be done in series, and mixing also has to be done in shunt. So it is known as current shunt amplifier. Now one thing we have to see, the effect of sampling and mixing in resistances, input impedance and output impedance. What will happen to input impedance and output impedance? So whenever we do sampling of voltage, it has to be done in parallel, right? So we are doing sampling of voltage and it is being done in parallel. Whenever we put two network in parallel, the net resistance decreases. So in this case, and when we add two network in series, input impedance is increases. So if we talk about voltage amplifier, the sampling is done in shunt. So whenever we are doing shunt sampling, means we are adding in parallel. So it's output impedance. This column, I think this is not visible here. Let me draw it. RO. For voltage amplifier in mix, this is RI is input. For input we are doing mixing in series. So we are doing mixing in series means we are adding some circuit in series. Therefore the net impedance will increase, whereas the net output will decrease. Because in output we are doing sampling in shunt means two networks are in parallel. Networks are in parallel means net resistance of the circuit will reduce. Now if we talk about trans impedance, in trans impedance we are taking sampling in shunt, therefore the net resistance will also decrease. And what will happen to the input impedance? Input impedance is all, so we are also adding in the shunt, so net impedance will also continue to be decrease. So in trans impedance cases, the input impedance as well as output impedance both will decrease. Third is transconductance. In transconductance we are doing sampling in series. Sampling in series means the output impedance will increase, and we are also mixing in series, so input impedance will also increase, so both will increase. In the last current amplifier we are doing sampling in series, so output impedance will increase, whereas we are mixing in shunt, so input impedance will decrease. Whenever there is shunt, the input impedance will decrease. Whenever there is series, that particular impedance will increase. So based on this, there can be multiple sort of question can be formed. First, what type of question will be formed? First of all, they will give you a circuit, and they will tell you that it is a voltage shunt feedback. Net impedance or the net input impedance of the circuit will be whether increase, decrease, remains same. Such sort of option. So these type of question can easily be asked in this topic. Now one more type of negative feedback questions are asked is how to identify a feedback. How to identify feedback? Suppose a circuit is drawn and you have to identify topology feedback. So there are some rules. So first of all, we have to find out whether the sampling it is done in voltage or in current. If it is done in voltage, then it is done or if it is done in parallel or series, and whether the feedback quantity is mixed in series or in shunt. If we are able to find out these two parameters, based on that we can define the 4 different topologies that we have discussed: voltage series, voltage shunt, current series and current shunt. So I'll give you a 2-point step. Suppose this is a circuit. Suppose this is our circuit, and we have to find out whether it is which type of sampling. Here you can see this is RE, which is pointed as VF, means this is a feedback source. In general, they do not mention that this is a feedback. You have to identify the feedback, which is the feedback resistor. But it is easily identifiable because when we apply KVL here, this resistance will give negative feedback. So first of all, how to identify which type of feedback? The step 1 is make V0 0. What is V0? Output voltage. Hypothetically, assume that V0 is 0. So what we can do? We can put it short with respect to ground. Okay, make V0 0 by short circuit. If we make V0 0 and there is no feedback, then it is a voltage sampling. It means if we make output voltage as 0 by short circuit and there is no feedback, and feedback values changes to 0, then it is a voltage sampling. If it doesn't changes to 0, then it is a current sampling. So when we make V0 equals to 0, in this case we make V0 0, so the voltage across this resistor will be 0, Vf will become 0. It means it is a voltage sampling. In step 2, mixing. If feedback signal is subtracted as voltage signal, then it is series mixing. If a feedback signal, that is Vf, it is subtracted with the input signal as voltage signal, or in other words, if this signal is subtracted in a series format, not in shunting format. This feedback is subtracted from the source in series format, then it is voltage, it is series mixing, otherwise shunt mixing. So we can see here, if we short circuit it, then there will not be a feedback, means first it is a voltage sample. Okay, the first term is fixed voltage. Now if you apply KVL here, so what will be the KVL value? Vs equal to base current into this resistance plus VBE voltage plus VF. So Vs is minus Vf is equal to IBRS plus VBE. So feedback voltage is subtracted with voltage in terms of voltage form, or it is in the series. Both condition has to be true. Either it will be in subtracted in voltage format, or the circuit will be in series with the feedback resistor. So therefore the mixing is in series, therefore it is voltage series feedback. Now I will give you another example. This is one circuit. This is RF as feedback resistor. This is RL V0. Now again we will apply the same step, make V0 0. So what we are doing, we are shorting this. If VR 0, if there is still feedback, yes, there is still feedback because the current will flow from here and it will add or subtract from here. So if V0 0, but there is still feedback flowing from this RF, so it is a current sampling. In the previous circuit, when we made V0 0, Vf also becomes 0. Hypothetically, let us assume, hypothetically, if V0 was from here, not from here, then by reducing V0 equal to 0, there would be some voltage here. So at that time it was not voltage sampling. It would not have at that time voltage sampling. But now if we talk about if we talk here in the next question, if we make V0 0, there still will be a feedback from RF resistor that will be added or subtracted to the input. So there is still a feedback, so the sampling is in the form of current. Now step 2, see, this we can easily see this RF is not in series with the input. This RF is not in series, so it is some form of shunting effect. This is ground, and this is one resistance, and one resistance is this. So it is in shunting. It can easily be seen. If it is in shunting, therefore the current must be traveling through this. So therefore it is a shunt mixing. So this is a current shunt amplifier. So now in this class, what we have done, we have started with a feedback amplifier. Feedback amplifier, we have discussed there are two cases of feedback amplifiers. One is positive, another is negative. In this video, we have primarily discussed the negative feedback amplifier. There can be 4 types of amplifier: voltage amplifier, current amplifier, transimpedance, transconductance, depending upon the input and output quantity, whether voltage, current, voltage, current, voltage. So based on this, we have defined 4 types of amplifier. Now whenever we apply a feedback, there is a change, and the change is contributed by the amount 1 plus A beta. Whether increased, then it is multiplied by 1 plus A beta. If decreased, then it is divided by 1 plus A beta, where beta is the feedback factor, A is the gain of the amplifier. Now when we apply a feedback, we have to find out whether it's what type of feedback it is. So for that, we have to study what type of sampling and what type of mixing is done in the circuit. If sampling is done in parallel, then it is a voltage sampling. If sampling is done in series, then it is a current sampling. Similarly, if mixing is done in series, then it is a voltage mixing. If mixing is done in parallel, then it is a current sampling. Based on the sampling and mixing, there will be an effect on input and output impedance. If we are doing sampling in parallel, the net two circuit will be in the parallel, therefore the net resistance will decrease. Similarly in the mixing, when 2 circuits are in parallel, the net input impedance will decrease. Whereas for series sampling or series mixing, the net impedance will increase. After that, we had discussed how to identify a feedback by looking at the circuit. There are 2 steps for that. First step is make V0 0. If there is still a feedback, then it is a current sampling. If there is no feedback, then it is a voltage sampling. The second step is see where it is being missed. If it is being mixed in a series circuit, then it is a series mixing. If it is being mixed in parallel branch, from parallel branch, then it is a shunt mixing. Now based on that, there are some questions given in the 6th chapter of analog circuits in EQ. So all of you must have been, I think you must have the EQ book with you. So open the 6th chapter of analog circuit, not from EDC, from the analog circuit, and try solving all the questions of that 6th chapter. All these questions can be easily solved by using these feedback techniques. After that, in next class, we will start with positive feedback amplifiers and we'll study the oscillator circuit.